How's it going, everyone? My name is Sinikle, and welcome back to yet another Umineko no Naku Koro ni. We're still within episode 6, Dawn of the Golden Witch, and before we jump right on in, there is some unfortunate news that I need to give. OBS is a real pain in my ass. For quite a few videos now, apparently there has been audio spikes that I thought were fixed, but they weren't. And I may have found the fix. Apparently my computer was integrating two different versions of OBS. One, an old version, and OBS mind-controlled itself into thinking it was a new version of it. So I uninstalled everything OBS-wise and reinstalled it from the website itself. So hopefully OBS is not thinking that there's two different OBSs on the computer. Weird, I know. But OBS is going to be OBS. And if it is still causing audio spikes at random points of my videos, of my recordings, I am going to be absolutely furious and probably pull all the hair out of my fucking scalp and turn into a bald fuck. So, let's hope that does not happen. Okay, so let's get into the beginning of this video here. So yes, this is going to be a re-recording. And yes, I have already uploaded this and found out my audio was spiking. So, this is gonna be an obvious re-recording and obvious re-uploading. So, sorry. Again, I apologize. OBS, it really loves to fuck with me, apparently. Anywho, enough bitching, enough complaining. Let's jump right on in. This was where I was supposed to be on, but no, we're going back to this point. And before I begin reading, as always, if you want to get caught up before continuing on with this video here, there is a link down in the description below that will bring you to the playlist, as well as my Twitter for the updates. Go ahead and follow if you would like to, and there is a third new link that goes to my Patreon if you would like to support this channel and support me. Go ahead and follow that link. Alright, let's go ahead and do this all over again, shall we? As usual, this year's family conference was getting bogged down. Everyone had decided to cool their heads for a moment, and a short break had been agreed upon. The four siblings could say whatever they wanted, but Natsui and Kirie, who, for example, were outsiders, and found it difficult to speak freely in this sort of atmosphere. A conference where you aren't allowed to say what you want can be tiring, even as you just sit there quietly. Even Kirie couldn't help letting out a deep sigh. This was the second-floor hallway of the mansion. Rudolph had wanted to be alone during the break, so she had felt like doing the same, and had drifted up the stairs to reach this place. Kirie's expression was less tightly controlled than when her husband was around. She wore a tired look that she didn't often show. She pressed her cheek against the cold window glass. Hell yeah. I need to regain my spirit and support my husband. Even if I'm not allowed to speak, that's the duty I've won.
誰?
She suddenly sensed another person, turned around to look behind her, and saw Jessica standing at the other end of the hallway.
あら、ジェシカちゃんじゃない。ゲストハウスに行ったんじゃなかったの？
ちょっと本を取りに自分の部屋へ戻ってたんです。
そう、ゲストハウスに戻るところ？
はい、そうです。
嫌な雨ね。風はだいぶ強いのかしら。
今は比較的 弱いみたいです。
As Kirei looked out the window, Jessica watched her back, looking agitated.
キリエおばさん、ごめんよ。運がなかったと思ってくれ。
ジェシカの運命のルーレットはキリエを選んでしまったわ。
どうするんだいジェシカ。ルーレットはキリエを選んだけど、それを拒否して再びルーレットを回すのも君の勝手さ。試練に捧げるのは誰の命でも問わないのだから。
Jessica wasn't like a George. George had willingly chosen Ava as to be his sacrifice, to signify his separation from his old life, so that he could step into a new life married to Shannon. However, Jessica hadn't thought of any particular targets, so she had left it up to the roulette of fate. That was no exaggeration. She had walked around at random, imposing a rule on herself that the first person she met would be chosen as her sacrifice. And so the roulette had brought her to Kyrie. Of course, there was nothing forcing her to keep to that rule. However, Jessica didn't want to break a rule she had once made. Even though she was participating in a demon's game, she still wanted to cling to this one last virtue. Right now, she could attack that unprotected back. But Jessica still wasn't able to fully resolve herself.
どうしたの？何か私に話でも？
Noticing the strange distance Jessica was standing at, Kyrie turned around. That unprotected back was already gone. Jessica realized that her hesitation had made her lose her own first chance. She had taken on this demon's game to prove her love for Kanon. However, would it really be okay to sell her soul to demons? For the sake of love, she had energetically consented to this demon's game, not wanting to let George, who had already taken an open-minded view of the situation, get any more of a lead on her. But her heart still wasn't ready.
キリエおばさんにこんな質問まずいかな。
何？ジェシカちゃんが私に質問なんて珍しいわね。答えられるものだといいんだけれど。
実は私好きな人がいるんです。
あら、そうなの？それは素敵ね。まさか恋の相談なの？
そんなところです。
いいわよ。私でよければ力になるわ。
ありがとうございます。実はそれで
まだ片思いなの？
いえ、そこから両思いになりたてって感じのとこです。ただ結ばれるには試練があって。
試練？何それ？
私たちともう一組の恋人たちがいて、争わなくちゃならないんです。
三角関係？それとも四角関係？複雑そうね。それで？
勝った方の恋人同士しか結ばれない、そういう複雑なことになってるんです。つまり
嫌な話ね。相手を踏み台にしてしかどちらも成就できない恋なのね。
はい、自分たちが結ばれれば相手が破綻します。そして逆もしかりです。
質問の趣旨が大体分かったわ。こういうことでしょ。人は幸せになるためにどこまで他者を踏み台にすることが許されるのかでしょ。
Yes, Kyrie was very smart. She had already guessed the question that Jessica had wanted to ask most.
戦わなければ自動的に相手が勝ってジェシカちゃんたちは負けになる。しかし戦って勝てば相手を破綻させることになる。どちらも嫌な話ね。でも聞くまでもなく答えは決まっているわ。
はい。
Kyrie giggled. If she wasn't willing to stick to her love until the very end, then that would show the limits of their relationship. If that were the case, she would just let the other pair of lovers win. However, if this was a love she couldn't abandon her chances at victory either. So she had no options other than to fight. In the end, Jessica's hesitation was caused by guilt over forcing the others to split apart as the result of her inevitable decision.
やっぱり私は甘えているでしょうか。
そうね。甘えてるわ。
でも自分たちが結ばれるために誰かを踏み台にするなんて、そんなの辛いです。
じゃあジェシカちゃんは恋のお相手を諦める？
それは
断言するわ。その方が辛いわよ。地獄を這うことになる。生涯ね。
A hardness had entered Kyrie's gaze.
私は6歳だったから当時は何もわからなかったけれど、遺品の中にお母さんの手記があったわ。
それは日記のようなものか。
どちらかというと随想録ね。日記よりももっとアバウトなものよ。亡くなってすぐにそれを見つけて読んだけど、その意味を理解できるようになるには長い時間と私の成長を待たなければならなかったわ。
なるほど。キリエの夫婦仲についての悩みが記されていたというのか。
あれは完全にお母さんの呪い帳よね。その中身は6歳の私がずっと漠然と感じていた疑問を次々に表解させてくれたわ。
Whoops. Okay. When I was 6, it seemed as though my parents were very close and had no problems. And though I thought it odd that Oni-chan lived separately, even though he was in our family, I accepted it as the way things were.
アスムのことは知らなかったのか。
お兄ちゃんが誰もいない時に話してくれたような気がするけど、小学校前の私にそれが理解できるはずがない。だって写真すらない相手よ。お母さんはアスムさんの写った写真のすべてをお兄ちゃんに送って、家の中には一切残さなかったそうだから。
To Ange and Bachelor, who only rarely came home, Kyrie's smile never faltered. If she hadn't written her thoughts in that notebook, Ange would probably never have known them. Since his school days, Rudolph had been particularly popular with girls, a typical playboy. Be bold, over the top, yet still just a little bit gentle towards women. He probably kept that formula for being popular with women inside his head. In their attempts to win Rudolph's favor, several women tried various seductive tricks. Rudolph probably enjoyed that part the most. Since the beginning, love had been a game to Rudolph. An enemy of woman. Oh my god. He never thought of it as a trial and error process to find a single life partner. He would intentionally spark jealousy between women, lap up their compliments, and revel in the harem. He may be my father, but he was an awful man. Just awful.
でもお父さんも同時に媚びへつらう女の子たちをきっと見下してもいたのね。そんな中に自分の価値観をしっかりと持ち知性を見せるお母さんは目立って見えた。
それすらもルドルフの目を引きたいキリエの知恵かもしれぬがな。
かもね。お母さんはいろいろな意味で頭が良かったから。
Like the other Ushiromiya siblings, Rudolph had strong ambitions and lofty goals. Under the mottos of, if you can pull it off, you're golden, and as long as no one finds out. He would alternate between setting up businesses that were borderline swindless and illegal, then running away. I've heard that in his college years he was already making use of that talent, thinking up shameless projects and cleverly making money through the panic selling of party tickets. So much so that he could brag about carrying a wallet full of 110,000 110,000 yen, there we go, notes all the time. Many women fell for his charisma in being the man responsible for these radical projects, as well as his thick wallet and generosity. It would be a lie to say that Kirie wasn't one of them. However, what made Kirie very different from the other women was that she could support Rudolph as a business partner. Rudolph would make a large-scale party successful, unable to hide his laughter at this massive, easy profit. The women who surround him, among them only Kirie was calm and composed. She could point out several ways that income and expenditure could be improved upon. Oh my god. And could even lay out the proposal for the next project.
そうしてルドルフにパートナーとして次第に認められていくわけであるか。
Ufa.
男子厨房に入るべからずっていうように、女もまた財布に入るべからずって空気はあるわよね。女はおごられて当たり前。男の出す1万円札をどうやって捻出しているかは野暮だから聞かない、知らない、興味もない。
キリエは金に対する価値観が男性的であったということだ。
Rudolph noticed a true treasure in this part of Kirie. He knew exactly how much hard work it took to get just one of those 10,000 yen notes. So, somewhere inside him, he had looked down upon those extravagant women who never even considered the efforts he had undertaken. Of all of them, only Kirie had possessed the same sharp financial institution as Rudolph. Every time he thought of a new plan, he would talk to Kirie about it, work out the kinks, and make it succeed. In this way, Kirie steadily worked her way up until she was the number one of Rudolph's large group of followers.
でも、お母さんだって女。他の女たちにちやほやされてるお父さんを見て、心が安らいでたかどうかは疑わしい。
ナンバーワンよりオンリーワンの方が良いというもの。
そういうこと。お母さんはお父さんの右腕として活躍しながらも、その陰では狡猾に他の女性を切り離していったわ。お母さんの恋の成就はもはや時間の問題だった。
アスムはいつからいたのか。
ルドルフさんの取り巻きの一人よ。いいえ、取り巻いてさえいなかったわ。 ただのファンの一人だったわ。
話したことはあるんですか？
もちろん私は彼女のことをよく知ってるわ。ルドルフさんがアスムさんの名前さえ知らなかった一番最初からね。あの子もきっと頭のいい子だったのよ。狡猾だったわ。私は頭の良さで目立とうとしたけど、彼女は全くその逆で目立とうとしたの。
頭の悪さで？
肥後欲のかきたて方がうまいって意味よ。こびてイチャついてくる女たちの中で、彼女の仕草の一つ一つが派手な女たちに触傷を起こしていたルドルフさんには目立って見えたのよ。
Kyrie still acknowledges the mistake she made in letting Asumu and Rudolph get too close. Kyrie had thought that taking the role of Rudolph's business partner meant she would have him all to herself. That might have been due to her pride, and it might have been her arrogance as she tried to eliminate the relationships between all the other girls and Rudolph. Perhaps she sometimes tried too hard as a business partner, putting too much pressure on him, regardless of the fact that it was justified. Bit by bit, Rudolph had started to need a woman who could stay quiet and soothe him, without making him think about anything complicated. That woman was Asumu.
私は冷酷で知的、合理的で経済的。カルネアデスの船板のような状況があったら躊躇なく相手を蹴落とすわ。そんなパートナーがあの人にはふさわしいと思っていたから。
However, though that ruthlessness had made her reliable on the business side of things, it might have disturbed Rudolph deeply outside of business. At some point, though Rudolph still acknowledged Kyrie's skill, he began to yearn for a quiet, warm acceptance. Asumu had satisfied all of those conditions. She would never talk about anything complicated. Even if he did, she would just shake her head and say she didn't know. However, she would care more for him physically than anyone else, quietly putting a blanket on him and staying by his side until morning.
確かに私はビジネスのパートナーの座を手に入れた。しかしいつしかルドルフさんには心を癒してくれるメンタルのパートナーが必要になっていた。私は愚かしくも知的を自称しながらそれに気づけずにいたわ。
それでルドルフおじさんはアスムおばさんと結婚を？
ええ、そうよ。取られたの。たくさんの女をはべらしていたもの。今さらどこの女と遊んだって情を移すような人じゃない。それにあの人にとって女なんて遊びでしかなかったもの。だからこそ私は体以外を武器に自分の存在を示していた。
慢心だな、女として。
間もなく2人は解任するわ。アスムさんはそれをすぐにお父さんに打ち明けたけど、お母さんは逆だった。
身重になることがビジネスパートナーの座を揺るがすことになりかねないと恐れたのだな。
当時のお母さんは食が細くて体調不良とか当たり前だったみたいだから、解任に気づくのも随分遅れた。
気づいたのは
アスムさんとお父さんが電撃入籍をしてからよ。お母さんはその後に妊娠を知ってアスムさんやお父さんを揺さぶろうと ずいぶん暗躍したみたいだけど。
アスムさん、あんなにぼんやりしてそうなのに、ルドルフさんを加え込んだら話はしない。だから何ですか、どうぞお引き取りくださいですってよ。バス一つ乗るにも怖い怖いと縮こまってたあの小娘がね。あの時悟ったわ。本当に狡猾だったのは彼女だったってね。そうよ、乗り物恐怖症だってルドルフさんの気を引くための嘘だったわ。ごめんなさい、こんな話を聞いてもつまらないわよね。
あ、いえ。
せめて私の産む子だけでも認知させたかったわ。ルドルフさんもそのつもりはあったみたい。病院もきっちり手配してくれたし、アスムさんの出産が近づいても海外しく私のところにも来てくれてたっけ。もはや向こうが本当の奥さんなのにね。ひどい人だわ、ほんと。
After that, it's a tale I can't bear even to tell. Both Asumu and I had the same delivery date. And yet, her pregnancy had meant her marriage, where mine was completely meaningless. I swore to bring up my child well, and have Rudolph-san acknowledge it. The fight between Asumu-san and me ended with my loss. However, I wasn't down for the count. If I could make my child excel far more than Asumu-san's, if I could make it fully acknowledged by Rudolph-san, I would be rewarded. That's what I believed.
しかしキリエの子は死産だった。
ええ、アスムさんにはお兄ちゃんが生まれた。しかしお母さんからは誰も。お母さんのせめて第二夫人の座に残りたいという最後の希望は絶たれた。
Kyrie had fallen from being his partner to being his second wife. And then, unable to give birth to the bond of a child, she tumbled down to being merely his mistress. I can't imagine how much she must have hated Asumu and that kid, Bachelor.
そんなのをお首にも出さず、お母さんはお兄ちゃんとも親しげに接してたわ。
Yeah, but that's the key word right there. Act.
ショックだった。あの優しいお母さんがお兄ちゃんにそんな負の感情を持っていて、それを隠し仰せてたなんて。
Yeah.
憎かったであろうな、バトラーが。
でしょうね。もし死産がアスムさんで、お母さんの方がお兄ちゃんを出産していたなら、何か歴史は変わっていたかもしれない。
True.
もしもそうだったなら、アスムさんと離婚させて自分と再婚するようなシナリオを描きたいと思ってたみたい。
それも随想録にか。
ええ。だからこそそれは随想、妄想。涙で濡らしたシーツの端を噛みながらのお母さんの怨嗟。
後悔は一点だけ。
解任ですか。
違う違う、私のおごりだけよ。ルドルフさんはもう私のものだから絶対安全。 あんなアスムなんていう小娘に負けるわけがない。彼女がバスや飛行機でギャーギャーわめくとき、私はその手配と経費を適正に処理できた。だから私は一番ルドルフさんに信頼されているとおごり高ぶっていた。恋って育むって言うでしょ。
はい。
間違ってないわ。二人で水をやり世話をして育む、そして最後に結実するのが愛という実なの。知ってる？結実して終わりじゃないのよ。愛を収穫しなきゃ恋は成就したことにならないの。
収穫って？
それはジェシカちゃんが考えなさい。実らせても収穫しなきゃ傷んで腐ることもある。虫がたかることだってもちろんあるわ。いいえ、それどころか盗人が現れてもぎ取っていってしまうことさえもね。ジェシカちゃんたち若い子の恋愛観は育むところで終わってる。それは甘いわ。愛を収穫しなきゃ恋は報われない。
愛を収穫。
それは一見愛し合う二人きりだけの問題に見えて、そんなことはないのよ。だからいつ収穫しても自由なんていう先延ばしは盗人に機会を与えるだけ。苦労して育てた実が翌朝にもぎ取られてなくなっていたら、昨日のうちにめんどくさがらずに収穫しておけばよかったと後悔するはずよ。辛いわよ、その後悔は。地獄を這うわよ。私はこう思うよ。その地獄が18年で終わったから。だからもう私は自分を間違えないの。あの人は私のものよ。もう逃がさない、手放さない。そして主に感謝する。その機会を与えてくれて、絶対にあの人を諦めないという絶対の意志に奇跡が応えてくれたんだわ。
By now, Jessica was speechless, and didn't even urge Kyrie to continue. This true form of love that Kyrie was telling her about was far, far more harsh than anything she had imagined.
今の私はルドルフさんを私のところにつなぎ止めるためなら何でもするわ。そしてルドルフさんの敵には一切容赦しない。あの人が望むならば私は人殺しさえも躊躇しないかもしれない。18年目にしてようやくその決意を持ったからこそ、絶対の意志が奇跡を私にもたらしてくれたんだわ。奇跡はね、それを自ら成し遂げられる者のところにしか現れない。
Asumu's death had not been a murder of any sort. However, Kyrie had constantly cursed her and hoped for her death. And finally, on the 18th year, she had built up the determination to kill her with her own hands. And she actually had gotten herself a blade to do the deed with. That was when the miracle had occurred.
アスムおばさんが亡くなったことが奇跡。
違うわ。そんなの全然奇跡じゃない。
What is she gonna say? That's fate. Ha!
だって彼女が死ななければ私が殺していたもの。
I mean, yeah, that's basically how it was, being brought up as.
つまり彼女は必ず死ぬ運命だった。
Fated to die no matter what.
奇跡なのは彼女が死んだにもかかわらず、私が自らの手を汚さずに済んだ。この一点に尽きるのよ。
Until now, Kyrie had never shown Jessica. No, she had never even shown Rudolph that glint in the deepest depths of her eyes. It told plainly and clearly that romance and love are not the sweet and fluffy candies that young girls imagine them to be. Jessica was overwhelmed by that pressure and stunned silent. And she had to acknowledge it. This was the power of will that could make love be realized. With the force of this willpower, Kyrie had supported Rudolph as a wife. And it was the same as George's. He had already developed and proven that he had the willpower to oppose all obstacles to love between different classes. Right now, Jessica could clearly understand. This was the magnitude of George's determination, which had allowed him to coldly carry out his part of the trial. Then, what about her? Did she really have the resolve to make her love with Kanon bear fruit? And to then harvest that same fruit? Does she have the cojones?
ごめんなさい。軽いアドバイスのつもりが怖がらせすぎちゃったかしら。
Oh yeah, scare me more, daddy. What?
この天気のせいね。
Yeah, blame the weather, not me.
軽く凄むだけのつもりだったのに、加減を間違えちゃったわ。
Kyrie let a relaxed smile rise to her face. That tense atmosphere finally slackened. However, her words had been dodged into Jessica's heart.
ジェシカちゃんの恋がどんなものかはわからないけれど、ライバルがいて、お互いが譲れない状況ならばなおのこと、のんびりなんかしてられない。じゃないと、私みたいになっちゃうわよ。女は恋のために、人生で一度、殺意を持つべきよ。世界中で母を名乗る、すべての女がそうだったと断言できるわ。だって、そうじゃない女は、他の女に食い殺されて、生涯を嫉妬と後悔の地獄で、這い続けるのだから。私はその地獄に18年いた。私は幸運よ。たった18年で恩赦になれた。あの地獄には、今も大勢の女たちがいて、死ぬまで出られないの。後悔する自分を、自らの手で処刑しない限りね。
なんていうか、言葉もないです。
エールを送るつもりだったのに、私ったら脅しすぎたわ。本当にごめんなさい。恋愛なんてもっともっと気楽でいいのよ。恋愛なんて本当に火遊び。誰でも簡単に気軽に遊べちゃう。そして間違えて大やけどした時、その傷が生涯残るんだけどね。
Regrets from love never fade. That was all that Kyrie had been trying to communicate. It wasn't like Kyrie to start telling stories from her past, stories you would normally expect her to avoid, instead of giving a brief answer. However, Kyrie might have thought Jessica deserved to hear. Jessica had timidly brought up the subject of love. Perhaps Kirie had opened up and told everyone. My throat. I don't know why it closed up right there. Let me try that again. Perhaps Kirie had opened up and told everything because she had seen the fires of Jessica's determination in her eyes. There we go. Little mishap.
じゃあ私はそろそろ戻るわね。今の話、私たちだけの内緒よ。
Unfortunately, I know what's about to happen. And me saying that tells you that something's gonna happen. Sin, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. With a mysterious smile on her face, Kirie turned around. Oh boy.
脅しすぎちゃったかしら。でも脅されて知る地獄の方が100倍いい。そこに落ちた時はもう手遅れなのだから。頑張ってね、ジェシカちゃん。ややこしそうな恋だけど負けないでね。たまには人生の先輩らしく振る舞えたかしら。ん？何？ジェシカちゃん。
Yeah. A windstorm grazed Kirie's head. It had been a hair's breadth away. If Kirie hadn't twisted her body slightly, that fist would probably be buried in her face by now. Damn. A bitter smile rose to Jessica's face when she saw that her first strike had failed to land a kill.
言っとくけど、卑怯者だから不意打ちをしたわけじゃねえんだぜ。わけのわからないうちに一撃で、痛みさえ理解できないうちに終わらせようとしたのに。
言ったでしょ？嫉妬の地獄で生きてきたって。刺されそうになったことの2度や3度あるんだから。わかるのよ。不意打ちの直前の雰囲気が。
気配で分かったとでも？
それプラス一番最初の嘘かしら。
嘘？
だってゲストハウスから来てジェシカちゃんの部屋で本を取って帰ろうとしたら、ここでこの向きでは出会わないもの。あなたがその嘘をつく必要性についてチェス盤理論で想定した7つのケースの中で最悪のものがこれだったわ。
Telling a hasty lie to Kirie would only put her on her guard. If Jessica hadn't told that lie, her surprise attack would have succeeded.
やるね。
Damn.
さすがキリエおばさんだぜ。
どうして？あなたは最初から私を殺すつもりだったわ。
誰でもよかった。
最悪だわ。
キリエおばさんの話のおかげで吹っ切れた。感謝するぜ。
Kirie dodged the punch, placed her hand against that fist, and slammed it against the wall. Normally, Jessica would have hurt her hand on the wall and rolled around clutching at it in pain. However, Jessica's fist... What did I just say? Did I say... Oh, whatever. Jessica's fist had left what looked like a meter-wide crater in the wall. Oh my god. Instead of wearing a look of anguish, Jessica clicked her tongue in irritation at having missed.
すごいわね。さすがクラウス兄さんの子だわ。ボクシングでも始めたの？
Impossible. Jessica is bare-handed. She isn't holding any sort of weapon at all.
抵抗しないで、おばさん。
I love how it's explaining that she's barehanded and she's not holding a weapon at all, but the sound effect sounds like she's holding a gun and she was reloading the Glock. Oh my god. So fucking hilarious.
頭一発。
Ha ha.
痛みなんか感じさせない。
Uh-huh. Kirei tried to look confident, but she couldn't hide her confusion at this unreal destructive force. If that punch had hit, her head probably would have split open, like Jessica had said, killing her without any pain.
行くぜ。
Oh my god, a fury of blows! What? If Kirie's... Oh, it's a kick this time, okay. If Kirie's kick off the ground and backward leap... So anime. Backward leap had been an instant slower, her gut would probably have been pulverized. Though she had avoided it by a hair, Jessica's left body blow was followed by a terrible burst of wind, like an explosion, which blew Kirie back.
これは夢？私寝ぼけてる。わけがわからない。
This Jessica looked like the normal Jessica, but something was different. It wasn't human, and common sense didn't apply to it. This had to be some kind of nightmare. Kirie slowly stood up. Then she looked at Jessica and noticed the several meters between them, and realized just how far that blast of wind had sent her flying.
恨んでくれていいぜ。でも私もキリエおばさんの言うように弾けないんだ。私も自分の恋中途半端には終わらせられねえんだ。
あなたは何を言ってるの？ねえ、何を言ってるの？何なのよこれは一体。誰か教えて！
The scene around Jessica seemed to bend like a heat wave. It seemed to be enshrouding her fists. And it seemed as though something like a red magic circle had appeared beneath her feet. It looked just like a western demon, standing amidst the flames of hell.
炎熱不要、重量不要、鉄鋼不要。
Oh my god, are we in an RPG game? Oh my god. Each time Jessica muttered, her fists were surrounded by a pulsating, sinister red light. Those fists, which were actually smoking, surely represented the iron hammers of hell wielded by demons.
さよなら。これは悪夢なのよ。
Kirie dashed away with lightning speed. Yes, right now, that was her best option. Fortunately, she was smart enough to realize that pinching her cheek wasn't the best way to wake up from this nightmare.
ロノウェ。
When Jessica muttered once more, a blood-red magical barrier cut across the corridor. Kirie slammed into it hard and realized that her path of escape had been cut off.
やめてよ、こんなわけのわかんないの。これは悪夢だわ。悪夢なのよ。覚めて。早く。
ああ、悪夢だぜ。それが望みならすぐに覚めさせてやるよ。一撃さ。動かないで。
Wielding her flames, Jessica slowly stepped forward towards her. Each time her foot lifted off the floor, a scorching steam hung around her footprints. This was a true nightmare. Kirie clutched her head in her hands, shaking it over and over again.
悪夢なのね。これは悪夢なのね。お願い、そうだと言って。
ああ、 悪夢だぜ。
悪夢なのね。悪夢なのね。
私が認めてやるぜ。これが悪夢さ。
認めるわ。これは悪夢だと認める。だから
冷ましてやるぜ。一撃でな。
Jessica's neck was twisted at an odd angle, and she staggered backwards, her eyes white, as though she didn't have a clue what had just happened. In her forehead, a demon stake was buried at an angle. It pulled itself out of her, spun around, then became Leviathan and then landed. The hole left behind in Jessica's head spewed blood.
嫉妬のレビアタン、ここに。
Woohoo!
悪夢の中だっていうなら、私の悪夢に出てくる友人がいてもいいわよね。
Oh my gosh, she was acting this whole time. Oh my god, someone give her an Emmy. Woohoo! Or whatever it is. I don't pay attention to that bullshit. Oh, whatever. Okay.
嫉妬の地獄の友人よ。危機一髪だったわ。ありがとう。
感謝は早いわ。こいつ耐えてる。
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess she would still be alive. Sure. Yeah, getting a demon stake pierced into your brain. Yeah, yeah. Even the zombie would still be alive. I'm sure. Yeah, okay. Anywho, even though she had taken a deep gouge to the top of her head, yeah, oh my god, I was trying to say that fast, but I fucked up bad. I suck. Jessica just stood there, convulsing and wide-eyed, and didn't fall over. Oh yeah, look at all that blood on her spray. Oh yeah, magnificent. You know, if they actually included, like, not the hole in her forehead, but just a little blood splatter on her clothes, adding that tiny little detail into the sprites, oh my god. So much, like, praise just missing from that little detail that could be included. Could. Anyway, what? The blood stopped pouring out of her forehead, and her blank, doll-like eyes returned. Then she slowly pressed her own hand against the wound in her forehead. There was a sizzle, as though she had pressed a hot iron against it. It was easy to tell that she was doing this to seal up the wound. If Kirei didn't escape now, there would never be another chance.
あいつを倒せる？
無理ね。あいつ大悪魔の誰かと契約してるわ。不死身よ。
それは愛ゆえに。
Yeah. By the way, just so everyone knows, I did read these two back in my first recording of this, until I unfortunately discovered that my audio was spiking and I have to re-record this again. But I will read it at the end again for a second time. And I do know for a fact of why Jessica has suddenly developed all this crap. Anywho, enough talking. There we go.
だから不死身なのさ。
So, you know, it's just great. She has a lot of help while Jessica, well, Kirei has, you know, just one help. Anywho, okay.
愛よ偉大なる。
I call it bullshit and unfair.
我らの祝福する者に不死身あれ。
この赤い魔法の壁は破れる？
ロノエ様も大悪魔。私じゃ無理よ。
窓から逃げられる？
窓もとっくにロノエ様の結界で塞がれてるわ。
Yeah.
すごいわね。 恋のために悪魔に魂を売ったわけかしら。
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
よくもあんな大悪魔たちとこんなにも契約が妬ましい。
装甲付与
Ah, more of these. Okay, great.
全属性防御攻撃反応装甲付与
In response to these words, this time her entire body pulsated with a red light. She had upgraded herself with a defensive power that would prevent Leviathan's attacks from working again.
あいつ何を言ってるの？
自己増強よ。エンチャントっていうの。今のあいつは私に二度と貫かせない防御力を持ち、その上攻撃者にダメージ反射する力まで持ってる。もう人間じゃないわ。化け物よ。
A monster! Will I get some experience from defeating that bitch? Okay, then. I'm sorry.
さっきと大して変わってないわね。
そうとも言う？
最初の時点から勝ち目がないことに何の変化もないわ。
痛かったでももう効かない
Jessica slowly lifted the hand that had been covering her forehead, and there was no longer any hole there. The hall was cut off by barriers on both sides, and even the windows were sealed. There was no way out.
そこの部屋の扉封印されてる？
ただの正常だわ。でもただの部屋よ。窓はあるけれどすでに封印されてるわ。つまりは密室、私たちの棺桶ってわけ。
棺桶？上等だわ。鍵を開けて。妬ましいわ。あんたにしか開けられないなんて。
Leviathan's stake flew about at high speeds, ramming itself into the keyhole to that room. The tip of the stake had become a key. Oh my god, has she become a keyblade? As soon as it was unlocked, the door flew open. Go Kingdom Hearts on this bitch. Sorry. Both of them fell into the room and quickly locked it. This was probably Cross's study. Its soothing furnishings brought about a sense of nobility that Cross would probably like.
正常なんかしてもあいつは扉を一撃で打ち砕けるわ。キリエは自分で自分の棺桶の蓋を閉じただけよ。
Sweet, we're a vampire now.
でもね、棺桶の中で私たちにとどめを食らわせたかったら蓋を開けなければならない。
With the dim eyes, Jessica tilted her head upon hearing Kirie's words.
何を言ってんのその小さな部屋がどうしておばさんを守ってくれると
確かにこの部屋は密室だわ。私たちの退路はない。でもね、あなただってこの部屋には侵入できないのよ。それが密室というもの。
何を言っているそんなちっぽけな部屋のこんなちっぽけな扉一枚でどうして私から逃れたつもりに
Jessica wearily looked between her own burning fist and the door with a confused expression on her face. Then slowly she sent that pulsating red light to her fists. She repeatedly enchanted her fists to give them the destructive power for the killing blow.
こんな扉粉々にしてやる
And hurry up and do it, bitch!
やってごらんなさい。
Oh. After sealing the door and calmly saying those words, Kirie placed a single index finger on the door. Jessica slowly raised her fire-breathed demon fists.
さよならキリエおばさん
Woohoo! Thank you, Leviathan, for again raping my eardrums.
これは
Jessica's fist slammed into the door in slow the decisive scene in the movie would be acted out. However, this was no act. Why is everything inverted out like this? Okay. Jessica's fists really were slowing down as though they were being sucked in, like a spoon sinks through a jar of honey. That punch was no longer a punch. It was more like a knock.
嫉妬するのよ、あなたに。
と
私は恋に対する甘えと傲慢から18年嫉妬の地獄を張ったわ。
I really hate this part, and you're all probably gonna know why. It's because it involves fucking how long I was so envious and blah blah blah. The power of envy. Oh my god, it's just okay. That's all I'm gonna rant about. There you
だ
go.
からあなたが妬ましいの。あなたは私の忠告を受けて恋を成就させて美しい人生を歩むでしょうね。ああ、妬ましいわ。女の一番美しい時間をあなたは私よりも18年も長く過ごせる。ああ、妬ましい。
Jessica tried to slam her fist against the door over and over again. However, as soon as her fist approached it, its speed plummeted. She could barely knock, much less smash the door.
速度付与瞬発付与
Goddamn, how many upgrades can she put in her arms?
音速付与
Infinite upgrades.
無駄よ、お嬢ちゃん。
I call hacks.
砕けろ
With full speed upgrades, Jessica's fists move at the speed of sound. 1225 kilometers per hour. However, how long had Jessica been in envy to gain that speed? She had started to envy George and Shannon's relationship about 2 years ago. Ooh, 2 times 365 equals 730 days. 730 times 24 equals 17,520 hours. However, she wasn't envious all the time. It only happened when Shannon started going on about George. With Shannon's shift on about 3 days of a week, divided by 7 times 3, and it wasn't as though she had to go on about George all day long. Her fond words for him would only leave a mark on Jessica for about an hour, right? So only 1/24 of each day. 17,520 divided by 7 times 3 divided by 24 equals 312, removing the fractional part. The number of hours that Curie had been jealous was, oh my god, 157,680. In other words, this wasn't even 0.2% of the time Curie had been jealous. Even 1,225 kilometers per hour, the speed of sound becomes only 2.45 kilometers per hour in the 1/500 world.
わかる？
Whew. Doing that in that voice, I should probably just go ahead and kill myself. Damn! My throat. Oh, gee golly.
あなた、恋も嫉妬も足りないわ。
Why all that math had to be put in there, I have no idea. But yeah, that's the gist of my rant. Anywho, even if she see what that voice did to me? Even if she increased the speed of her fists, if in the Curious world, Jessica couldn't make it any faster than a walking child. Jessica grounded her teeth. her fist still pressed against the door. If someone could have seen this from both sides of the door, it would have looked as though Kyrie was holding it shut with a single finger. Impressive!
ねえ、この部屋は密室でしょ。ジェシカちゃんはせいぜいノックをすることはできるけど、中の私たちには指一本触れることはできない。
ベアトリーチェの密室定義ですな。
何それ。
Hello, Runaway.
こうなるとこの密室、ちと厄介ですな。密室殺人を行うのは人間には不可能。
Oh.
それが行えるのは魔法だけです。
Hey, who allowed you to give hints, bitch?
ジェシカ様が真に魔法を理解されない限り打ち破れますまい。
God damn it.
もはやジェシカちゃんに私を詰めることはできない。
Cheating ass motherfucker.
やがて時間は進み、私がいつまでも戻らないことに気づいた親族たちが屋敷を探し始めるの。
By the way, Jessica, George didn't need to cheat, bitch. Okay? So fuck you.
I hate Jessica so much.
そしてあなたは観測される。
I don't know why, I just do.
魔女も魔法も観測されたら消える。
Probably because I know the outcome and I think she... Well, I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just wait
悪
until
夢
the
の時
end.
間はもう終わりよ。お
Anyway.
嬢ちゃん。
Girl, I am a woman. Oh, shit.
おや、
Hello there, Sapa.
ジェシカがいきなり脱落なんてびっくりだよ。
Oh.
どうか頑張って。
Stop egging her on. God damn it. What's with the cheating this episode? Fuck.
愛しのカノンのためにも。
George didn't need this bullshit. What the fuck?
さあジェシカ、愛を信じてどうか奇跡を見せておくれ。
I call hacks! You cheating bitch!
訂正するわ。時間の経過を待つ必要さえない。だってここに内線電話があるんだもん。もちろん断線なんかしてないわ。私はこの受話器を取る。これが私のチェックメイト。
構築完了。
Well, here we go.
密室殺人。
おや、有効ですな。
浸透付与。打撃伝達。間接攻撃力付与。
Jessica's fist, which was pressed against the door, glowing red and then white hot. Jessica didn't even swing her fists. She just kept it pressed against the door. However, Jessica's murder extended within the closed room. Through the crack in the door, through the keyhole, burst the flames of hell. Jessica couldn't see what was happening inside the room. However, even here, on the other side of the door, she could tell that the flames of hell had swallowed the entire room. I call bullshit! Kyrie's smoldering death throes could be heard from across the door. Jessica clearly heard as Kyrie danced a dance of death amidst the hellfire, fell to her knees, and slumped over to the floor. Slowly, Jessica tore her burning fists away from the door.
そんなに嫉妬の地獄が恋しいなら焼かれてろ。
Oh my god, such a cool line.
嫉妬の炎で永遠に。嫉妬から学ぶものもあるだろうぜ。だがそれは誇るもんじゃねえし義務でもねえ。やっぱりあんたおごってたぜ、キリエおばさん。
Okie dokie.
お見事な密室殺人ですな。
Yeah, sure, whatever.
後片付けを頼むぜ。やがて見つかる遺体が黒焦げじゃあまりに申し訳がない。きれいにしてやってくれるか。
かしこまりました、お嬢様。
Renove transformed into a gold butterfly and entered Crossus's study through the keyhole. Then he had to cross his arms and think about how he should even start cleaning up Kirie's unrecognizable corpse, and this room that had been ended up as a burning hell. Well, well. What you complaining about, you little bitch? Jessica finally let out the breath that she had been holding down in her chest. Really? Her normal human glint finally returned to her eyes, and then she couldn't help but shudder at what she had just done. Even if it had been just a trial on the game board for the sake of her love.
悪魔ども、これでいいんだろう。
Oh please, you enjoyed it and you know it.
お見事です、ジェシカ。あなたの愛も本物だ。
George welcomed Jessica with a crisp applause. Beatrice timidly tried to join him, but Jessica yelled at her and she stopped. Okay. I don't know why, but okay. Jessica is a royal bitch.
ゲーム版の上の話じゃないか。そこまで悲しむことじゃない。
理屈じゃ分かってる。でもだからって心の整理がつくわけがねえだろ。
You have to live with it for the rest of your life.
お嬢様。
Oh, god damn it.
カノン君、私君のことが好き。
Oh, so kawaii desu.
諦められないよ。
Oh.
だから示したよ、私の気持ち。
That's why I've shown you how I feel. Yeah, by murdering your auntie. Okay, that's... yeah, okay. I murdered her for you, damn it! I wanted to show that I can kill so I can love you! Okay, I'm done.
私、間違ってないよね。
Ooh, it's
間違
windy
って
outside.
ないよね。
Damn. My apartment building is gonna come crashing down on top of me. Yay! Live recording of Sinikle dying. Woohoo! Oh, cry me a river. Oh, you are doing that. Okay.
お嬢様。
Why am I so harsh on her? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, God. I'm having fun, though. As Jessica started to sob, Kanon held her quietly. And he realized that he would have to carry on the determination she had shown him.
何も間違ってないさ、君は。そして、人の心を残し、苦しむことも間違ってない。僕は、そういうことに対し、少し君よりストイックだっただけの話さ。
誰もがジョージ様の境地に至れるわけではありません。
Oh, shooting that flame there, boy. Hell yeah. Catch this bitch. Oh, shit.
しかしどうあれ、お嬢様はとにもかくにも試練を成し遂げられた。お見事です。その決意の強さ、敬服します。
そういうことであるな。ジョージもジェシカも見事やり遂げたことは同じだ。あっぱれであったぞ、ジェシカ。今の密室殺人、魔女のわらわも見惚れるなかなかのものであった。
Jessica had used magic to kill Kyrie, who had holed up inside a closed room. In that instant, Jessica had constructed a closed room murder, had it acknowledged by the demons, and raised it to the level of magic.
これで二人の試練が完了だわ。
Yay.
さあ、次は誰が挑戦を？
Oh my god, who will it be?
ベアトリーチェ様かしら？
いやいや、シャノンかもしれないよ。
ここはカノンの出番に違いないわ。
Three remain.
さあ、名乗り出てほしい。次は誰？誰が試練を？
魔女がゲーム版の殺人に臆してどうするというのか。奥手も過ぎれば恋を殺すぞ。
さあ次は
誰が恋の殺人を？
The three who remained looked at each other. If none of the others raised their hands in the next few seconds, they would raise their own hand. All three thought of this at the same time. So, they all raised their hands at the same time. The ones they loved had already shown their determination. They had to carry on. What does that mean? They all raised their hands at the same time. Does that mean all three of them go at the same time? Huh. Well, to speed things along for this whole episode, probably, yeah. Alright. That means next chapter should be quite interesting. Well, well. Hello there, Rosa. Ya bitch. Bye-bye. One of the 72 great demons controls love and tests others through trials. Bestows endless, inexhaustible offensive power upon the maker of the contract, giving them enough power to fearlessly overcome any barriers to their love. The trainer of love who teaches tame boys the taste of flesh. Okay. Is of a different gender than Zipar. I love how it just does not clarify what gender. Probably both. Zipar, one of the 72 great demons, controls love and tests others through trials. Zipar bestows an ultimate defensive barrier of immortality upon the maker of the contract, giving them enough courage to unflinchingly face any wounds love might cause. A hunter of love who likes and preys upon tame boys. Is of a different gender than Fefe. Alright, there we go. That's that. Thank you for telling me to read all of that. Someone down in the comments below. I have forgotten what your username was, but you know who you are, so again, thank you. And that will be the end of this video here. This is supposed to go up Monday. Hopefully I can make it. If not, it will be Tuesday, because I'm going to have to be very careful and earfully watch it and listening to it to make sure there is absolutely no problems with the audio this time. Because if there is, I'm gonna have to throw the biggest fit of my life and pull the hair out of my fucking head and go bald. So let's hope everything is A-okay. Let's save over that one. Sure, why not? And that's gonna be it. So I hope you all enjoyed this chapter. It was quite something. For those who might not have enjoyed my little fit during the whole numeral explanations of power against the whole envious portion of Kyrie and her index finger powers or whatnot. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. That whole section, you obviously remember it, right? Yeah, I went all full nerdy voice and... oh, shit. I don't know why that was put in there. I don't even see the actual need for it. But hey, it was in there. So why the fuck not? I guess, just suffer through it, right? Anywho, I digress. Overall, except for that part, the chapter was okay. Obviously, I was very much expecting Jessica to lose, but she had a lot of help. A lot of help. And I get it. She's human. Fighting in the trials of demons. Great demons, might I add, but still... George didn't have any help. I don't believe he did. Did he? Kind of, sort of, I guess, but not to the amount of what Jessica had. True. But whatever. I digress. The chapter was okay. Let me all know what you thought of the chapter. If you hate it or loved it, please give me any explanations on why. And yeah, hopefully this chapter will be a lot better than the previous one. Yeah. Okay, so until next time, let's go through it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because there will be more Umineko coming up soon. Whew. There are 3 links in the description. Go ahead and check it out if you want to get caught up. Playlist link. There is also a Twitter that goes to my Twitter page for the updates. Go ahead and follow. And there is also a Patreon link. If you want to support me and support the channel, please go and click it. And yeah, there is going to be a few updates on that as well. Trying to think up of some stuff. Give me any feedback on that if you would. And yeah, that's going to be it. So until next time, please, as a reminder, stay sinful, folks.